Director, I would like to have a word of welcome to the MECs who are here. Firstly, a word of welcome to MEC Super Zuma. Welcome, Excellency. We also have got MEC Mufokeng, who's here. I think he'll still come up to the room. And our chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Chief Mandela, I hope that you have already blessed this place and declared it to be home cool, so that we can be free when we are in this place, because when you are in the great place, you know that you are welcome and you can do things that are not normally done at any other place. You can come and consult me on what you can do when you are at home court. I would want to welcome, a special word of welcome, and also indicate to you that in our midst today, we have got Dr. Abebe. Dr. Abebe comes as the Assistant Director General from the FAO, and I would like him to rise with his team so that you can recognize him in terms of the partnership that we are having as a department at the council. And he's not alone. He's with the country rep and also with speakers that you see during the course of the day. I also want to welcome all our BRICS member states who are here. I've seen old friends that I've seen today, leaders of the delegation that we have for today. You are welcome to South Africa. I really have got to say that this is going to be one of those exciting times that we are going to have today. On the speakers list today, I would also want to welcome all the speakers who will be with me, sharing the stage with me. My colleague and friend, the Agricultural Research Council, Dr. Lita Badingwa. We also have got Dr. Chilidzi Mazibanzela, who's also on the other side, my master when I serve at the area where he is. We also have got Dr. Nwangweni, who's from the National Agricultural Marketing Council. I don't think that he'll make it for today, but he has got representation. This morning when I came in, I saw the colleagues driving in, so I know that we'll have representation from them. I also have got my colleague, Maisela, who I said when I saw her this morning, it seems like the stress of being an HOD is not affecting her. She looks young each and every time that I see her. Let me take this time to welcome you to South Africa. I would like to take this opportunity to pass my regards that come from the entire Ministry of the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, from the Minister of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, Metobo Didiza, Head Deputies Me Dapa and Ndate Squacha, and welcome you to this beautiful country, South Africa. Today we are in the most northern part of South Africa, the Limpopo province, that borders Zimbabwe, that borders Botswana, and also borders Mozambique. So you are there where we share international boundaries, and this is one of those that share a lot of international boundaries. We congregate here at the 13th session that we have around BRICS ministers. Now this is one of the oldest that we have around BRICS, that started officially in 2009, 2010 and moved in terms of the engagement. Now we are not one of those that are budding. We are now teenagers when it comes to meetings of the BRICS. This is our 13th session, and we expect that we will now start exhibiting signs of growing as BRICS member states and come up with tangible outputs that we will have to drive. We also look at the broader agricultural context that we are going to be discussing today. Let me introduce South African agriculture to you in a few seconds. South African agriculture contributes almost 2.5% to the GDP of the country. One would say that if you comparatively look at the South African contribution compared to other African states, you would realize that it's a minuscule kind of contribution. But South Africa has got quite other services. It's a service country, and the services have got quite a larger contribution to the GDP. But if you look at South Africa broadly, it is the largest in terms of agricultural hectares that are under production, to be 96 million in Africa. And if you look at those, 12.5% are under crops, and that is high arable land. We contribute in terms of jobs in the South African economy, 888,000 jobs. That is the last time counting. And that makes agriculture a major contributor in terms of jobs in our country. Our country offers a variety of industries, major around those, our grain industry, our livestock industry. We produce almost 50 million metric tons of maize in any given year, and in 2021-2022 that is something that we have produced. The largest part in terms of the contribution of the GDP in agriculture is our livestock sector, and it includes a variety of industries and commodities, including cattle, dairy, pigs, sheep, goats, rabbits, and ostrich. I would also like to extend our special invitation for our international guests to explore this beautiful country of ours in between the sessions that we'll be having during BRICS. We are here today as part of the BRICS countries to share country experiences and learn from each other about how we should collectively respond to the increasing global challenges that include climate change, food crisis, and many other factors that affect our nations. To be specific, our focus today will be in line with implementing the BRICS Action Plan 2021 to 2024 through participating in this BRICS Climate Change Resilient Agriculture Seminar. This event forms the 13th meetings of BRICS of Ministers of Agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change is a global challenge that affects our economies, our countries, and livelihoods of the people, especially the rural poor, smallholders and smallholder farmers, with specific reference to the vulnerable groups being women and children. We expect that the world population would explode to 9 billion by 2050. Climate change will bring more disasters than we have ever imagined, and it is therefore very important that we act decisively and proactively with long-term solutions and action plans to deal with an explosion in population and also growth in terms of the other areas of climate change. I thought that because I'm of lighter complexion, you would see me. I would have imagined if it was someone or who's my friend that a lot of people know, who is darker than dark, what would have happened. If you look at the scientific reports that we have, including reports on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the latest reports have shown that the African continent is highly vulnerable, especially the countries in the global south that are severely impacted by climate change. South Africa, as part of the Southern African Development Community, SADC in short, is severely impacted with increasing temperatures and erratic rainfall in most of the parts of the country, leading to increase in the frequency of meteorological hazards that often lead to several disasters, such as drought and floods. This further leads to food security challenges in our country. Recently, our country has observed a number of devastating floods that negatively affected our national economy and left a trail of infrastructure damages, loss of lives, displacement of families and people in several provinces, especially in KZN and low-lying parts of our country. Following the occurrences of heavy rains, South Africa experienced huge locust outbreaks that negatively impact on our farmers. Those who are in the agricultural industry would say to you that after each and every huge flood or rainfall, you would expect an explosion of pests and diseases, and that is exactly what happened in this instance. In response to this, our government acted swiftly by implementing control measures to prevent production losses by combating the locust outbreak, and implementing agricultural support programs to alleviate the poor socio-economic conditions of our people and farming community. Climate change, ladies and gentlemen, is a global challenge that affects us all, and it is our duty to respond to these challenges through effective domestic action plans to safeguard our national priorities such as food security and ensuring that we meet our international obligations. Under the BRICS Action Plan 2021-2024, South Africa leads the thematic area of climate change. It is our responsibility to promote collaborative efforts in combating the effects of climate change and ensure that we achieve the objectives as set out in the BRICS Action Plan 2021-2024, and for South Africa, with specific reference to the National Development Plan and our Agriculture and Agro-Processing Master Plan. It is our view that as BRICS, we should agree to establish programs that will transform the agricultural sector by increasing productivity of this sector and to promote climate-resilient agriculture, best agricultural practices, and sustainable development in line with our national development plans and sustainable goals that are engendered in the sustainable goals that we have, Agenda 2030. Our proposal to establish the BRICS Skills Exchange Program on climate change within BRICS is intended to promote sharing of experiences, creating awareness, information exchange, and building capacity through establishment of the resilience of people, food and agricultural food systems, reducing agricultural greenhouse gas emissions, and safeguarding food security. Hosting BRICS Climate Resilient Agriculture Seminar is part of our deliverables under the BRICS Action Plan. The purpose of the BRICS seminar is to promote climate resilient agricultural best practices and climate actions to ensure resilience of our people and production system. We all know that we as BRICS countries have a bigger role to play in transforming our country's economies through broader collaboration in promoting development, trade, and cooperation. Through this day and days that are to come at this event,